Good morning, Mirror people. Man, my beer's starting to grow out again. So as you can tell, I'm all bundled up again. This temperature down here in Florida is crazy. So I first want to say that usually I have this radio system where the AM alert comes on when there's a severe storm. So I'm knocked out last night in the bed, right? And my shit feels like Dorothy, her house in The Wizard of Oz. If you've never been in an RV during a windstorm, man, I'll tell you what, I don't recommend it. I don't know how safe these are in a windstorm, but I was told like in a hurricane, you don't want to be in one of these, or you want to be under like, the roadway thing where there's concrete, pour your shit underneath there. But with the wind blowing right now outside, it's probably 30 degrees, and I refuse to take the dog out to go for a walk because like I'm a puss now. I'm not living in Pennsylvania where it's like 3 degrees, 16 degrees. I gotta put like a little coat on the dog. Forget that. But anyways, I'm gonna point out something. I'm sitting here eating carrots for breakfast. This is my meal right here for today. So, I'm going to do a lot of research on some of these people who become bestsellers overnight. One, I believe they have like a ghostwriter writing for them that's very famous. And two, this is what it's all about right now. Money. So, I'm not going to call anyone out because I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in trouble, and damn sure don't want to get censored or have one of these giant podcast companies come after me in a lawsuit. But, it's funny, I was talking to a friend about getting on to some major podcasts, and then all the minute, like my whole social media blew up with all these invites for social media, like getting on podcasts. I just want to say, I think it's fucked up that, we fill out all the little information and send it in, thinking, man, these guys are never going to contact me. And immediately, this famous podcast people who represent certain individuals, their representative team reached out to me and was like, hey, we appreciate, your story. You look like you can tell a story. And we only pick the best people, so we're picking you. So it was back and forth in emails and me sending little stupid stuff about my story and pictures of the book and me and where I've been and military photos of me in the past that no one's ever seen. These guys were like, yo, you have a choice to come out to Vegas or we can do it over the internet or whatever. So again, my head blows up. And I'm thinking, man, I'm a nobody. Why the hell would these guys take me? And then I thought about it. I'm like the Haktua girl. All I have to do is say like one famous statement and then make her famous, right? So did you see what she did? She dropped like a Bitcoin or an MFT. I don't know what they're called, but and now they're going to put her ass in jail because she scammed people out of all this money. Yeah. Well, that's not going to be me because I don't think I'll ever be famous, but I'd like to be known, So the American people boosted her. She got so far and got greedy. And they snapped her ass off the pedestal. So, I wonder who's next. So, it's funny. So, these guys, they reached out to me, right? Like, their representative. It's like, hey, yeah, we got an open slot. We want you to come on immediately, When can you do it? And I was like, damn. I'm do this shit like tomorrow, man. But, they had to go through all their shit to get me out there or whatever, or whatever they're going to set up. But it's funny because at the end of this guy's official text message that he sent me to my phone, instead of like we started talking on the phone, and he sent me a text message and said, oh yeah, by the way, to come on the show, you have to sponsor $25,000. Now you know how you get famous. You give these organizations $25,000 to kiss your ass or to kiss their ass, and they make you famous. Well, let me tell you what. Some of these people have not been through the shit that me and some of you all have been through. And the only way that you can tell your story is by paying some fucking money. And I'm not going to go with that. I think that's absolutely horseshit that some of these famous talk shows, that's how these people get famous. They pay for it. I mean, look at Diddy. He's jamming people in the booty and shit. And next thing you know, they're walking on God's gift of water and getting Oscars and all that shit. So, I'm not looking for an Oscar. I'm just looking for a thank you. And it comes in different ways. So, I have been invited. I've asked to be on some certain veteran podcasts that they don't do that shit to people. They don't say, oh yeah, by the way, if you want to be part of our organization, you have to pay $2,800 for a brick. You know what I'm talking about. But anyways, do your research. These big podcasts out there talking to all these military guys. You can't tell me this cat that killed bin Laden, or the guy that wrote that book, what's it called, Operator? Yeah, he's the guy that killed bin Laden. And then the other idiot out there who unalived Saddam Hussein. But the other guy that was on the podcast, he should have got the credit, but he left 8 days early. Where the guy that killed whatever, Saddam Hussein was hiding in a hole. And this guy who did the podcast, he was standing right beside him with a Louis Vuitton bag, like blending in and shit. And you can't tell me that these guys are paying $25,000 to be on some of these big podcasts. Do you know who's next to be on the podcast? Luigi, a fucking dude that took out that CEO. I guarantee it. If they, I don't even think that's the real guy they got, man. I'm gonna tell you what, if I unalive somebody with a 3D printer gun with a silencer, you think I'm gonna carry it around with me at McDonald's? Come on, man. This guy went in to get a fucking, what? An Egg McMuffin, and a fucking employee from the back who fucking, all they do is watch social media behind fucking McDonald's and on their phones and shit, be like, oop, the shooter's in here. And then they didn't even give him the money and shit. Come on, man. The whole world is so fucked up. You look at the internet and believe anything you see. Just like my friends who work for the government, they tell me all the real shit. So, and I'm not going to disclose it, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, some of my buddies that watch this will be like, damn, Steve calling us out. No. But there's a lot of shit going on outside the world that you should know about. And there's damn sure a lot of shit going on in the world right now that half of you people don't even know what's going on. So, I'm kind of glad that these big podcast people don't ask me, or I go on and talk to them. Last thing I like to say is, do you know how many people in this world actually have $25,000? I mean, I do. And the only reason I have that is because I sold my house. Now, if I didn't sell my house, I wouldn't have that. Half the people in the United States probably have about $500 in their bank account. Or live check to check, like I used to. I don't live check to check no more, because I paid off all my debt. But can you imagine how much these people on these podcasts make? And then the other thing at the end of this video is about 10 minutes long. I'm sorry, but I'm on a rant today. I just think it's funny that you have to pay to be famous. Do you think those people that went to them Diddy parties went there for free? Who damn sure know them people paying like $100,000 to go to them damn parties to get stuck in their ass? And now you have people like Jamie Foxx coming out and telling the truth because he was so drugged up, and I don't know. I didn't see the special. Maybe y'all can tell me about the special. I'm not watching it because it's just calling out another guy. But I just hope when whoever takes over our country, they shut all this stupid shit down, man. Really, I do. I really hope that they shut all the stuff that's been hiding from us ever since. I would really like to know who did 9/11, because you know that was an inside job. I don't care if y'all talk about that. There ain't no way in hell that an airplane hit the Pentagon. I lost a good friend in the Pentagon, a command sergeant major from artillery, Strickland, and some of the other shit that's going on in this world. But all these people that were going after old 47 are now coming out saying they lied. Could you imagine if they would have tried this guy and he lost? The lies, the greed, and the hate that our country does. So I made a post the other day about removing toxic people from your social media platform. And the last thing I'm going to say is there's a lot of you out there who put politics and crap in front of your family, your loved ones, people that have been like your friends forever. So if you're one of those kind of people, there's like this thing on my page. It's called unfollow. And then you can go to William Stevens as well, where I'm very politically talking about shit because I don't agree what's going on in this country. But I try not to share it on this platform. But there's a time where you can get me like so far where I'm going to come out and say it. But those who have followed me know my journey, know my true meaning why I'm out here. I'm not trying to make a fucking buck off nobody. I haven't made shit. I probably sold in the last 3 months 100 books. That's Kindle, softback, and hardback. And then my softback, The Mirror, is going to this other fuckface who's saying they are me. But I'm eventually ending them with the money that I have because I'm going to crucify them fuckers. So, and you'll see that the cover to The Mirror softback is going to change very soon. I'm working on a design myself. So thank you for following me for 13 minutes. Yep, I'm on a rant. And I'm trying to get the nuts to go outside and walk my dog. I love you. Oh, I just noticed. 12 Days for Christmas. My true love told me. Okay, you finish the story. I am the voice of the voiceless.